Hello, everybody. It's Cryptoagogo. It is January 3rd, 2002 at 4:29 p.m. That's Pacific Coast time. And today we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin 3-day chart. Yesterday was the weekly, the day before was the daily. Today we're doing the 3-day because for one, it's a day 3, and two, the 3-day candle just closed. So we're in a brand new 3-day candle right now, as within the last 30 minutes. So the first thing I want to do is you want to look at the candle close, and as you can see, it is a green candle, and it is actually an inverted hammer. So an inverted hammer, if you're not familiar with that, is, well, this is what it looks like. It was a green one, so it's green at the bottom, and then it has a long wick up. And actually, the one right beside that, so the 3-day before the one we just looked at, was a red inverted candle. So there's been a red and a green one back to back. And anyway, they say that an inverted hammer candlestick formation occurs mainly at the bottom of a downtrend and can act as a warning of a potential bullish reversal pattern. So we are in a downtrend, and now we've printed back-to-back inverted candles on the 3-day chart. So who knows, maybe this could be the turnaround we've been waiting for. We're gonna have to see how it plays out. I still kind of believe that it might probably go lower, a little bit lower before it goes higher, but we'll have to wait and see. So let me get back to that chart, because this is also the log growth chart, which we've been looking at, which that has not changed. You know, it's still in between these two resistance and this support area here. And then we've got the SMAs to look at, and here's something that I noticed, and that's the 20-day is crossing over the 50-day, which is a death cross, a 20-day crossing over the 50-day death cross. And if you're not familiar with what a death cross is, a death cross is when Bitcoin short-term moving average descends below the long-term moving average. And since the 23-day moving average is now just crossing over the 53-day moving average, so that is a death cross, which is a bearish sign. It's possibly signaling a sell-off. So we're also going to be watching the charts and seeing what happens there. If there's a sell-off, that's good for my idea here that Bitcoin price is going to go lower, and I'll get these buy orders filled, and then hopefully, like I said, from there go up. So all in all, not much has changed. You know, looking at the daily, looking at the weekly, looking at the 3-day, I still believe it's going to go lower before it goes higher. Now I'm going to move on to the 3-day fib band. And yesterday when we looked at the week, it was kind of right in no man's land, right in the middle, which I'm sure it still is. Yep. On the 3-day, it's actually trending down closer to the first of the 3 lower fib bands. So if these act as support, we could go up, or we come down and touch these first and then go up and start working our way back towards the green. But this fib band is kind of channeling along because we've been in a price range for a while now. So we're in a channel. Something's going to happen one way or the other. It's going to break to the upside or break to the downside. So we will have to hope and pray that it goes to the upside, because I'm tired of seeing Bitcoin trending down. That's no fun for anybody. All right. Okay, and then we're down here I was going to look at the Burbicator again before we moved on, and doesn't look like anything too exciting is going on there. I did forget I wanted to go over the price of Bitcoin today. So today is daily, 3-day, and daily open. It was at $46,452, and it's down $12 on the day right now. Now yesterday, well, this is actually a 3-day candle, but when this just closed 30 minutes ago, that candle opened at 46,150. It went to a high of 47,950, and it closed at 46,450. So it was up 0.66% or $302 on that last 3-day candle. And that was, like I said, the inverted hammer. But anyway, that's where we are as far as the price stands. And we're looking at this next chart, which is the weekly Fibonacci pivot points, which, as you can see, right here is the pivot point around 48,000. And then the support 1 is down here, and that's around 46,000. So we're below the pivot point, which is also like a more bearish trend because it usually comes down and visits the support down here. So there's support 1 right there at 46. Support 2 is at 44,000, and support 3 is at 41,600. And you can see I have my second buy order there. So if it does hit the third support, at least 2 of my buy orders are going to activate. So as of right now, like I said, below the pivot point, here's our resistance. That's the first line of resistance, approximately around $51,000. The second line of resistance, approximately around $52,000. And resistance 3 is around $55,000. So if Bitcoin does turn it around during this week, maybe we can get a rally up to 55,000. That would be pretty awesome. So that being said, I forgot to mention, I bought some Bitcoin just because of this inverted hammer, 2 of them back to back. So today I did buy Bitcoin. I didn't buy a whole bunch of it, but I bought it right around the $45,500 range. It was basically right at the low of that candle, or of this red candle here. So I am in a little bit, but I'm still hoping to get these orders to fill because I actually have more. I'm buying more Bitcoin on these orders. So I want to get more before it goes higher. And you know, once it breaks this price right here, I'm in the money. Then I need to start looking at how much my my profits are going up, and then take profits along the way to make sure that, you know, Bitcoin doesn't dump and then you lose all that money you were up. So you got to remember always to take profits. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. And that's another thing that I wanted to show you all is the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index for today. There we go. Nope. Oh. Right now, Bitcoin is in extreme fear at 23. So this is a good time to be accumulating, that's for sure. All right, so I'll touch on this a little more. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. It's a 0 to 100 scale, and right now it's at 23, which qualifies as extreme fear. I think I've seen it as low as 12. But anyway, the idea behind this is when the market is in extreme fear, that's when you should be accumulating and waiting for it to move up. Now that's why I always consider dollar cost averaging into my trades basically. I don't buy it all at once because it can clearly go down, and it's okay if not all my buy orders fill. If I don't get my full trade in, that's all right, because if it doesn't fill, that means the price is going up and I'm making money on the trade that I am in. Even if I didn't get all in, that's fine. That's actually a good risk management there. Spreading out your trade. Don't getting in all at once. And you have to come up with your own thing. Like I'm saying, I'm using these charts and I'm using these support lines, and that's kind of how I'm doing it, and that's what I'm trying to show you to do. This is something I look at every day as well. Like I said, extreme fear 23, that's pretty damn low. And I did buy some today. So, hopefully it goes lower and I'll be buying more. And then when it starts to go, I've seen that thing go up to at least 94. And then when you're buying here and it revs all the way up to here, you're making huge money. All right. This next chart, so that was the Fibonacci pivot points for the week. We are below the pivot point once again. And this is the auto fib. We are above the 0 line, which is good. I feel like as long as we stay above this 0, overall, we are still in a bear market. I'm sorry, a bull market. Overall, we are still in a bull market as long as we stay above this 0 green line. But just because you're in a bull market doesn't mean you can't be bearish on a short-term time frame and look for good entries. So it's already visited down here once, and it even broke below. Luckily rebounded back to all-time highs, and now it's working its way back down again. That is why I put my trade orders in here. I'm directly in between these two support lines. I'm in between the 0 and the next one. So this is right at 43,533, and then my last buy order there, right on the green 0, is at 36,273. If all of those fill, I'll be happier than a pig in shit. So I like the way this 3-day chart is looking on this auto fib. And here's my favorite, the EMA ribbon. Now it's a 3-day, so down here the gold is a 23-day ribbon. And as you can see, it's already rolled over, which I said that when it rolls over and goes to the bottom, the price goes down. All of the MAs are still angling down, which still leads me to believe that we're still going to keep going down before we go up. Now, we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. When this gold starts to curl up and break through, boom, jump in that trade, because that's always a good sign. Look at it down here. If you got it right when it started curling, you're getting in at a low of 40,000. And if you get out when it starts to curl again, you're getting out at a low of 63,000. So that's a $23,000 gain just off of this one indicator. Just watching the yellow curl up and then curl back again. I love it. EMA ribbon. You gotta have this on your charts. Now onto a more traditional chart with our moving averages, our RSI, and our MACD. We'll look at the moving averages, and the SMA that we looked at earlier and the MA are doing the exact same thing. The 20 is crossing over the 50, forming a death cross. I mean, there's literally like a $200 difference between the price right now. So if Bitcoin has a red day or a red 3 day, since we're on a 3 day, this will definitely cross over. And yeah, we could visit this red EMA 200. The 200 EMA is in this area of 37,675. Could get a bounce off of that. That'd be great though. Bouncing off the 200 EMA, if we bounce off of it, is a strong sign, in my opinion. So now we're looking at the RSI, and yesterday the RSI was 3 days ago the RSI was 40.56, and now today it's at 40.38. So it did trend down just a little bit. We can enlarge. It actually kind of went, it's kind of gone sideways these last 9 days. Not much to tell there other than it is under 50, which when it's under 50, you know, it's in the territory where usually the price goes down until it reaches an oversold territory, which here is in the 30 area. So if it works its way down to 30, I mean, it bounced here at 33. We're sitting at 40. So it could work its way down, find some support in this area, and shoot back up. Then we look at the MACD. Both the blue and the red lines are angling down, which is bearish. They're both below the 0 line, also bearish. We still have a red histogram, although it is turning like pink, and it's gradually declining. So a lot of times when that happens, that usually means that the blue is going to start to curl up and cross the red, which is definitely a bullish sign. So you want to try and time this MACD. You want to catch it curling up. That's when you really want to get in. You know, I mean, when it crosses, that's always good too. I mean, I'll show you an example. But if you can get in even earlier, try and front run it, then you're going to make some nice gains. That's for sure. Let's see. So you can see right here, the blue's crossing the red right here. I know it's hard for you to see. I can see it. And look, it's right at the bottom of this dump where the price was 30,000. So if you just bought right when the blue line crosses over the red line of the MACD, right there on July 18th, you got in at 30,000. It rode a high to 69,000. That's a $39,000 gain just off of one indicator, and this is a traditional basic indicator that everybody uses. It's amazing. You know, sitting down, studying these charts, doing your own research. I mean, you know, join some chat rooms, watch some YouTube videos, preferably this YouTube video, and learn what's going on. I mean, I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. Like I said, I'm self-taught, and I'm just having fun with it, and I'm trying to stack as many sats as I can, and I want you all to do the same. And this is the 3-day chart with all my Luxalgo premium subscription indicators. So we'll just look at the Nadara-Watson estimator, which is this line that runs through the candles. And as you can see on the 3-day, just like on the day and the week, it is red. And when it's red, the price goes down. It turned red on this October 31st. And the price, the high was $64,000. And as I keep saying, we proceeded to dump down to 40. So that's a $24,000 drop. So if you had sold and taken your profits when it turned from green to red, and then set your buy orders lower and hope to catch these dips, you would have stacked so much Bitcoin on this way down. And then you just got a bunch of Bitcoin for money that you've made profits on. It's like free, it's house money at that point. Now you're waiting for the next time for Bitcoin to go up and take profits and go down. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this 3-day Nadia Watson line. And when it turns green, I'm definitely going to be buying some Bitcoin. And that's a great thing about how I trade. Like, yes, this is my trade here. I'm hoping to fill all of these. But the market is 24/7. Bitcoin is 24/7. Stuff is constantly changing all the time. So you always have to look once a day, like I said. This is the first time I'm looking at these charts. I'm literally looking at them and going over them with you right now. And I do this once a day in the long-term time frame. Like I said, we focused on daily, weekly, now 3-day, and we see these maximum gains. And you can make them on all 3 of the charts. So it's all about focusing and making sure that you look at the chart when the day turns, which for me is 4 p.m. California time. East Coast, 7:30 p.m. 7 p.m. 4 p.m. for me, 7 p.m. East Coast. You all can figure out your time zones. But yeah, if you stay on it, you come up with a plan, you do the same thing daily, you will realize these patterns are almost too good to be true. I mean, this one, if you were back here, March 28th, 2020, it turned green. The price of Bitcoin was $6,376. It went all the way up to $60,000 before it turned red again. That was a $54,000 gain just off that one indicator. Nadia Watson, you are amazing. Thank you for that one. Now we'll come down here and look at these, and this is the same principle. When it's red and then turns green, the price usually goes up. You can see it right here. July 24th, $40,000. It turned green. September 16th, it turns red. The price is $48,000. That's an $8,000 gain. Who wouldn't take an $8,000 gain? Right? I know I would. And the price went down. Look at this. It turned red. The price did go down. And then it turned green again right away. So you could have bought lower. You were selling up here. You're buying down here. So you're being able to buy more Bitcoin because you took your profits out. You started with $2,000 down here. Now you have $3,000. You sell at the top. The price goes down. Now you have $3,000 to deploy instead of $2,000. You're compounding. You're buying more Bitcoin, and it rises up again, and you're selling up here. And then it's going back down, and you're buying down here. And you're compounding on this chart. Bitcoin is amazing. That's all I got to say. So let me finish up this chart with this multi-length stops on the 3-day, which we haven't looked at, but as you can see, it's down here. It's red, and now it's just bottoming out. And it's just riding along this line. Now we can go back to the last example that this happened. It was red and then it turned green. I keep telling you guys, green means go. Red means sell on these indicators. So what we're looking at here is on June 24th, this red line right here comes down and it turns green on June 24th. The price of Bitcoin is $30,000. It goes up and then it turns red. That means sell. We got in at 30,000. The high on this candle is 52,900. I mean, this was actually a really big candle. The low was 42,000, but even if you sold at the low of that candle, you still got in at 30, you got out at 42. That's a $12,000 gain just off of buying when this turns green and selling when this turns red. And now we have this opportunity coming up again because we've already hit red. It turned red on November 9th when the price was $69,000. The all-time high, it turned red. And now it's gone down. You know, that was November 12th. We're now in 2022. Going on 2 months later, it is finally starting to bottom out. It's still red. We're waiting for it to turn green. Green means go. Money in the bank. So we're definitely keeping an eye on this one. Finally, we're looking at the 3-day chart. And it's also got the head and shoulders. So that head and shoulders is pretty predominant on the 3-day and the weekly. And like I said, head and shoulders is a bearish pattern. But it could come up first, hit up here, and then come down. It's hard to say. It is still riding this trend line that I have here. It's right on it right now. So if this 3-day candle is red, it will close down into this area here, which the next support would be on this line, which, as you can see, at least one of my trades would fill. I feel like at least 2 of them would, with a wick down, maybe even 3. So we're still keeping an eye on this head and shoulders pattern to play out to the downside and fill this trade before we go higher into 2022. All right, well, that's all I got today. I don't have any news because I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'm going to be on vacation for like 12 days, so it's going to be crazy. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do this. I've been able to get 3 days done, and I'm going to try and do it over my vacation, but if not, I will definitely be on it once I get back. This has been more of a trial run anyway. Like I said, I'm just looking at the charts just now, flying off the cusp with the knowledge that I've created over the 5 years that I've been studying cryptocurrency and the charts and trying to learn how to trade. And trust me, I learned the hard way, the hardest way possible. So I'm trying to make things simpler for other people. Friends, family, random people, I don't care. I feel like we all should be financially free, so we are not a slave to the man for the rest of our lives. And Bitcoin is the answer to that. Bitcoin is a financial revolution, and you got to be part of it. Remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's 9 billion people in the world. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. Even if you're just a collector, you would want Bitcoin. It's like having a Hannes Wagner baseball card. You know what I mean? Like, I want 1 Bitcoin. I want 2. Actually, I want 10. That's my goal. I'm going to start trying to trade and get 10, and you all are going to follow me along the way and hopefully make out just as well as I do. All right, that's it for tonight. Later.